Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Welcome everyone in today's conversation once more. And as we discussed in the previous conversation that Sri Rama has cremated the body of Vajatayu, and he also fought and killed a demon that stumbled across him along the way when he was searching and looking for Sita, and his name was Kabandha. And now after Kabandha is dying, before his death, he tells something to Sri Rama. And what he tells? That he says that there is a person in this forest who is awaiting you. I mean, who is a pure devotee of God. And her name is Shabri, and you go there, Sri Rama, and see her. I mean, accept her prayers and give her blessings. So now here we see, and after Sri Rama hears this, after that demon dies and Sri Rama cremates him, so after doing all these things, Sri Rama now moves towards the cottage of Shabri, and that is described in the scripture in this verse. And it is said, Sachaste kathayamasa Shabrim dharmacharinim shamanam dharma nipunam abhigacheti raghavaha so abhyagachan mahatejaha Shabrim satrusudanaha Shabarya pujitaha samyak ramo dashatha atmajaha. So now there are some qualities that the sage is using for the pious woman, and the qualities are dharmacharani, one who is always following dharma and who is so much eloquent in dharma. And while discussing about this matter, I discussed in the previous conversation that whenever we are moving on some path, we need to start it somewhere. And the moment we start it, we may not be very good on the path. But day by day, gradually, we become good in running and walking on the path, whatever it is. So whatever work we do, doesn't matter how much good we do it in the beginning. We should always strive to become a better person in whatever work we do. So never back away, never get scared that I am not good at this work. So whatever work is in front of you and whatever work you want to start in your life, always have a feeling that maybe today I'm not good at this work, but 1 year later, 2 years later, when I would always strive to be better in this work, after some time period, I'll be the excellent person in this work. Because whatever people we see today that are leading some works started it from somewhere, and they also fell down so much times, they also stumbled, they also met with failures so many times, but they never gave up. And this is the way to success. Whatever it is, whatever way it is, and whatever work it is, doesn't matter what type of work you do. All the work require the same doing. I mean, persistence, tenacity, and always having the resolution to always move on, no matter how many times you fall down. So whatever the type of work is, whether it is materialistic, whether it is spiritual work, whatever work it is, it requires your patience, it requires your hard work, it requires your emotions, your attraction and attachment with that work. So here we see that Dharma Nipunam, one who is excellent in Dharma, in spirituality. This is the quality of that lady. And whenever a person becomes excellent in Dharma, in following the rules and regulations of God, then ultimately God comes to meet him, that person, the way Sri Rama is going to meet her. And one more thing that piques my mind here, that who is giving this information to Sri Rama about that pious woman? That is a demon. And now we see that a demon cannot give, as we would usually feel, that a demon cannot give information to a person like Sri Rama, because both of them are enemies. So from here we get a clue that even whatever way the person is living his life, whatever demonic qualities he has nurtured and nourished in his life and leading his life through it, every person has a space for righteousness in his heart. And from here we get this knowledge that righteousness lives in every human's body, is the initial character, is the initial possession of a human being, that you are a righteous person, you are a sacred person, you have purity in you, because you cannot hate everyone simultaneously on this earth. Okay? So a person who is a bad person, he might be holding grudges with someone, he might be hating someone, he might be holding apathy towards anyone, but he cannot hate everyone. At least he would stop before arriving inside his home. There he would shower love on his children, on his family. But a person who loves everyone can shower love everywhere, allwhere. Doesn't matter where he is. Is he in his home or is he outside in the community? So this is the extensive quality of human being that remains in every person, and that is the quality of righteousness. So now we see here, through this verse, we could conclude this statement, this feeling that this is the initial character of human being. Humanitarian beliefs, humanitarian activities, humanitarian life. And this demon, while dying, he gives a glimpse of that initial character that lies in every human being. So that's why it is said that always follow who you are. When people say that, always understand, when great men say that always remember who you are, they try to tend our minds, our emotions, our feelings towards this righteousness. This is the initial thing that we should always follow, and this is the initial substance that we should always pour into whatever work we do. And then our work becomes a pure work. Our work becomes such a work that helps every person, not only every person but every creature on this earth. And this earth turns to heaven. So heaven and hell are nowhere but on earth. And it depends on people, and we people, how we create our earth into. Okay? So we could create heaven in here, and we are the only people who could create hell in here. So it's our job to create heaven in here, because that's the reason that we are here. So one thing I was telling, that this aroma of righteousness, this aroma of purity that Sri Rama has, it affects everyone. Even demon gets affected by his good qualities and gives this information to Sri Rama. So as I was saying about it, I want to say you something, that the aroma of flower moves in the direction of air. The waters of the river move downstream, downward. But this aroma of character, aroma of your good life, aroma of your good personality, physical personality is so good, okay, but mental personality, emotional personality. Today people tell about IQs and how your EQ is. So this entire, all these things bind together to make a person's real personality. So the aroma of your entire personality, of your entire existence, moves in all the directions. It never thinks that the person where it is going is a person is a bad person or a good person. It moves in all directions, irrespective of how good the person is, where it's going, how bad the person is, where it's going. So it moves in all directions, and it influences, inspires, motivates everyone. And here we could see the example of that thing, that the good life, the righteous life of Sri Rama's life, of Sri Rama's righteous life is affecting even the demon whom he fought and killed. So rather than holding grudges against Sri Rama, he is just, it tends that he is coming to Sri Rama's side. And this is the utility, this is the importance of holding good qualities in life. So, and now we see here that Sri Rama has gone to that cottage where that pious woman lived. Her name is Shabari, and she is alone in there. Okay? So, never take in your mind that you do good jobs only when people see you, only when people appreciate you. So, never, many people do good jobs in front of people, in front of the public, when people are watching them. But as they go away from people, they indulge in bad works. So, a person who is doing good work should never take in his heart, in his mind, I do good work only when people see me, because there I am bound to do that work. So this is not the real form of living a human life. The real form of living a human life is you remain vigilant to what your accountabilities are as a human being. And a person who knows that, who understands that, who follows that, remains completely pure even when he is alone and recluse. So Shabari here, in all the woods, in all the dense forest, this woman is living alone, and there is no one to appreciate her, there is no one to ovate her, yet she is doing what is the intent, what is the initial work of her life. And now when a person lives such kind of life, this is the real purity, because a person does bad jobs only when he is away from the crowd. This is a great statement, and this is the real thing, that whenever you tend to do bad jobs, you always tilt away from people. You always want to hide that work and yourself as well while you are doing that work. So this is the quality of bad work, that people hide away, that people try to tilt away, turn away from people and do bad jobs. And a person who even when he's alone never commits bad work is the real pure person, because in crowds everyone does good work, but when he's alone he might create mischiefs in his life. But the person who never creates any misdemeanors even when he's alone, that is the real purity of a person. So, and God is watching that. God is watching for the person, God is looking for the person. Who is that person who is completely pure in himself? And as he finds that person, as he triangulates that person, he instantly goes to that person and fulfills his dreams, his desires, his entire life becomes aromatic life. So now here we see that Sri Rama is nearing the cottage of Shabari, and as I said, these are some of the qualities that the sage described about Shabari. So this is that lady who is completely pure and leading a spiritual life, and Sri Rama has gone to her cottage and gave her the bliss. And one more thing that I would like to say is that there are two types of jobs, that I mean spiritual works and materialistic works. Many times people say that a person only tends towards spirituality because he doesn't want to do any type of work. I mean, people have this wrong feeling in their minds that a person who has turned himself into a spiritual person, has adapted this life, never does any works. He just said simply, no, it's not the fact. Even spirituality requires more attention, more hard work, because in materialistic life, this body, mind, soul, emotions, you can't do a materialistic life with any one of these parts involved in your job. Okay? You can do your job by body, and you may not be present there by your mind, by your emotions. Many times people have fights with their bosses, and they leave the companies and move towards different jobs. So what is the matter? They are doing their physical jobs, but somewhere emotionally they are not connected to the people that are working in that building, in that area. But here in spirituality, you need to parallel all of these components to erase yourself, to do your job correctly. So in spirituality, your physical strength, your emotional strength, your mental strength, your entire existence, okay, body, mind, and soul. Even your soul gets involved in this work to raise you. So a real spiritual person, a person who is really following this path, his life is the hardest life, is the roughest life, and the person who crosses this life becomes a real person. That's why in Gita, Sri Krishna said that this is the hardest life to be thought about on this earth. So a person who does this, who accepts this life, is the hardest working person. He is not a person who sits still. He is a person who is always working hard to get the ultimate thing in life. And this is exemplified by this lady, pious lady Shabari, in this scripture. So he is describing Sri Rama as Shatrusudanaha, the person who has defeated all of his enemies. So where there is Rama, no assailant can live. Okay? I mean, where there is sun, there is no darkness. Where there is flower, fragrant flower, there would be no bad smell. The same way, where there is Sri Rama, where there is good power, no bad power can live there. And that is the quality of Sri Rama. He never allows anyone, he never allows any bad feeling, any bad emotion, any bad thought, or any bad activity ever arise in his life. And all these activities, all these qualities are demonic qualities. And these qualities, and the person who holds these qualities becomes a demon. And Sri Rama is always fighting to make this earth free from all those demons. So as we say, Yatha Brahmande Yatha Pinde, whatever we see outside, the same thing happens inside us. So we should always strive to fight all those bad qualities that could ever pop up in us. So this is an information, this is a knowledge that is given to us by the scriptures, that whenever any such thing appears in front of us, always do this and that thing. So these Vedas, these scriptures, they are help books, okay? They help us how to lead our lives. Like whenever we buy something, we always get the user's manual. How to deal with the thing when anything odd occurs with that thing, with that equipment, with that car, with the truck, or anything. So what is the manual? What is the user's manual for human life? So the scriptures are the user's manual. They are giving us the information of what to do when this thing appears in your life, what to do when that thing appears in your life, and make the life completely free from all of the dangers that ditch a human being from humanity. So Sri Rama and all the characters that are presented here give us that thing, that information, that knowledge. So here we are, and here we are understanding about Sri Rama's life, and the sage is narrating Sri Rama as Satru Sudanaha, the one who has defeated all of his enemies, and by enemies I mean bad qualities of our lives. So there is an absolute opposition, there is an absolute difference between goodness and badness. If goodness arises in human life, there would be no badness. The same way, when Godism arises in a person's life, there would be no demonic quality that could ever sustain in his life. And in the next verse, the sage is saying, So abhyagachan mahatejaha shabarim satrusudanaha shabarya pujitaha samyag ramo dashrath atmajaha. And now here we see that the sage is describing Sri Rama as Dashratha Atmajaha. He is the son of Dashratha. Everyone knows that. And Atmajaha, in Sanskrit, it means the one who is born from the soul. So how could a person born from a soul? He takes birth from his father's physical body. Okay, so the soul, nothing emerges from a person's soul. Okay, but here the sage is describing that word, Atmajaha. The one who is born from the soul of Dashratha is Sri Rama. So what is this? This only means that the sons and daughters are the real form, the life form of their parents. So whatever the parents possess, whatever qualities parents possess, the same qualities get inherited by children. Like the qualities of parents are the heritage of children. So here we get this knowledge that no person should ever possess any bad qualities, because those qualities would not only degrade your lives, but those qualities will deplete, will destroy the lives of your children too, because they inherit the same qualities that a person does. So here we see Sri Rama. To give birth to such a child who turns out like Sri Rama, the parents would have to live a pious life. The parents would have to live a pure life. The parents would have to live a life of humanity, where all sorts of good thing makes its place. So this is also a great knowledge that this scripture is giving us. And today, as we studied that, we always possess good qualities in our lives, because it is the only thing that is the true treasure of human life. Look, every treasure would vanish away one day. Whatever materialistic thing that we accumulate will go away. But this treasure of humanity, this treasure of piousness, this treasure of remaining pure and leading a pure life, this would never go away, even in this life and after you die as well. So this is the real treasure of human life. And a person who understands this, one is learning something, and the other thing is understanding it and developing that type of personality in yourself. So with that hope in my mind that everyone would develop and build such a great life as these great people did, with this hope and with this prayer to God, we end our class here today, and we'll resume our next conversation in the next class. Thank you.